Some say that Walt Disney was a vindictive, racist, sexist, and controlling anti-Semite who hid in the public figure of an adorable genius and a family and businessman. In this video, we will investigate the reality of these claims. Who really was Walt Disney? Hello Storyticians. Most of us have heard crazy stories about Disney. There are rumors that he was an FBI informant, or that his head is cryogenically frozen underneath Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Let's dive into this mysterious man's story. We should start at the beginning. What was Walt Disney's childhood like? He was born in Chicago in 1901, just to then move and live most of his childhood in Missouri. His father was an Irish Canadian called Elias Disney. His mother was a German American named Flora Call. From a really young age, Walt Disney started drawing and painting, art which he then gifted or sold to family, friends and neighbours. It is said that his father was abusive and that he had a drinking problem. Disney's childhood was cold, harsh and loveless. Not infrequently, his father would rise in rage and really hurt the people around him. Even though Disney was only one out of 5 children, there isn't much information on how they all lived their childhood. But it seems like Walt sought refuge in his art and imagination. Years later, the United States entered into World War I in 1917. It is here where we encounter the first of the rumors. It is commonly said that Walt's older brother enlisted in the army, but he couldn't because he was an illegitimate child and lacked a birth certificate. While it is true that he was rejected, this happened because he was 16 at the time, so he wasn't old enough to enlist in the army. About his birth certificate, they were not required by law in Illinois when he was born. That is the reason why he didn't have one. There is another birth rumor around Disney that we want to address. It is said that he was not born to Flora and Elias Disney, but that he was born to a Spanish woman called Consuelo Suarez. The story is long and it is closer to a legend than a real story. For our peace of mind, there is no solid evidence to support that his natural parents were anyone other than Flora and Elias. Leaving his birth certificate troubles aside, 2 years later, Disney moved to Kansas City to pursue his career as a newspaper artist. He got a job at the Pesman Rubin Art Studio, where he met the famous cartoonist Ub Iwerks. He later went on to work on cutout animation at Kansas City Film Ad Company. Not long after, he managed to create his own cartoons and then studio called Laugh-O-Grams. Sadly, it was around this time that new rumors appeared around him. The first of these rumors was that he was an anti-Semite. For those of us who don't know this term, an anti-Semite is a person who is hostile or prejudiced against Jewish people. There are several reasons for this rumor. First, there is one famous deleted scene in The 3 Little Pigs where the wolf was portrayed as a Jewish peddler. Also, in 1938, Walt personally welcomed Leni Riefenstahl, a Nazi director, to the Disney studios. All in all, it seems like it wasn't Disney's direct actions that made him seem anti-Semite, but his association with clear anti-Semites. Neil Gabler, the author of the most thorough biography on Disney, said that he willingly, even enthusiastically, embraced anti-Semites and cast his fate with them. Closely tied to his anti-Semite tendencies, it is said that Walt Disney was a racist. There are some racial stereotypes in Disney movies. For example, the Black Crows in Dumbo, the Black Servant in Fantasia, and the movie Song of the South as a whole. By the way, this last movie was deemed so offensive that Disney banned it from the public. Walt also called Snow White a pile of the N-word and made other offensive comments. Other controversies also rose against Disney's company not hiring minorities. Was he racist or not? You can be the one to decide while we move on to the next rumor. As if all of this wasn't enough, Mr. Disney was also called a sexist. Again, Neil Gabler commented on this, saying Disney didn't like women. There is also this letter to a Miss Ford's where the company states that women don't do creative work. They are only allowed to work as painters or inkers. This does sound pretty bad and sexist, but it is also true that women generally had a bad time and were not hired for most things at the time. Next up, Walt Disney was secretly an FBI informant. We won't dwell too much on the matter, but there was a document released and deemed authentic by the New York Times that alleged that he was an informant. There was not much more after that. as the families denied the reports and the claims were discredited. It is suspicious though. Another widely unknown rumor about Mr. Disney is that he was a big fan of our channel, Among Stories. He asked if you could hit the like button if you like our stories. Sadly, there is no evidence of this whatsoever, but it would be great if you could give us a like. Now, let's visit one of the craziest rumors that float around his memory, that Walt Disney is cryogenically frozen below the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Disneyland. Some said it's his whole body that's frozen, others that it is only his head. This sounded crazy, so we made our research and it doesn't seem to be true. His daughter, Diane, discredited this rumor, also stating that her father probably never knew about cryonics. There are also signed legal documents that state that Disney was cremated and is currently buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Glendale, in Los Angeles County, California. Have you heard other rumors about Walt Disney? Yep, this story of the past is amazing. But if you want to taste the future, watch this story about Tolosa, the city of the future in construction today. Now, keep on living the most mysterious of all stories, the story of your life.